Hey guys, it's Monday night, and that means it's time for the Sunshine State Sports Jabber. This is your host, Brad, the sportster Brad Walker. If you want to join me on Zoom, the meeting ID is 475-279-260. The show is provided by Mancini Sports Network. The numbers to reach me, if you want to dial me from the west coast of the United States, is 720-707-2699. If you're on the East Coast, it's 646-558-8656. If you're in Canada, it is the 647-558-0588. If you're in Mexico, it would be the country code 52, and then it would be 229-910-0061. The show, guys, will be going till 9:15 this evening. If you guys want to hop on and join me this evening, you can. Again, this is Sunshine State Sports Jabber, and it'll be a little bit more positive this week than it was last week with the Kobe incident happening a week ago. I think it kind of was rough on all of us, especially me. As you can see, I broke down live here last week. So there's a little bit brighter side today than there was a week ago. Of course, the big event happening in the state of Florida happened yesterday, and that would be Super Bowl 54 live in Miami. The Kansas City Chiefs pulled a good game. It was a good football game in general yesterday, as they were able to win with the final last 8 minutes of the game. Mahomes had his magic, and the Chiefs were able to escape with a 31-20 win. Being down 20-10 in the fourth quarter, they scored 21 unanswered points to win. I'll be going into a little bit more of that on the Walker Report this Thursday night. If you want to join me over there as well, you can do that. Hey, Jesse, how are you? But guys, that is so. Let me go ahead and start. I will start with the NBA as I normally do on my show. I will start in South Beach with the Miami Heat. They are currently in the first quarter, trailing the Philadelphia 76ers 24-20. So that is let me pull up their schedule here and see where they're at. For that, I remember last week as I was talking about them playing the Orlando Magic, and again, guys, it's like I said, a lot of tributes to Kobe and a lot of NBA games last week. They did one last night at the Super Bowl. Each team during the pregame lined up on the 24-yard line, and it was pretty cool pregame for Kobe and for Chris Dolman, who passed away from brain cancer. Now they played the Magic and they beat them 113-92. They lost last Tuesday, 109-101 to the Boston Celtics. Then they went to Amway Center in Orlando to play the Magic again. They beat them 102-89. And like I said, they are currently in a game with the Philadelphia 76ers at home in Miami. Some news coming out of there is that the Miami Heat could land Drew Holiday if they give up Tyler Hero. The question is, the Miami Heat have expressed interest in Orange Pelican guard Drew Holiday, and they may try to get the deal done before this week's trade deadline. However, according to ESPN's Zach Lowe, the Heat likely will not pull the trigger on a trade if the Pelicans require rookie Tyler Hero to be part of the deal. Holiday would be a fantastic addition to Miami's potent starting unit. He's currently averaging 19.7 points, 6.3 assists, and 4.7 rebounds per game this season. If he were to be added to an all-star duo of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, the Heat would likely be considered a serious title contender this season. That being said, it's understandable why Miami is reluctant to part ways with Hero. The number 13 overall pick in the 2019 NBA draft has shown flashes of true star potential. His production is especially valuable because Miami will have him on a rookie deal for several seasons to come. There's no doubt the Heat will look to improve their roster prior to the deadline. However, don't expect them to willingly part ways with their talented young core. So that is that, guys. That is currently some of the news out of Miami. And like I said, they are currently in a basketball game playing the Philadelphia 76ers in the first quarter of the game there. There's a live game going on right now. But there is some heat news. Let me go ahead before I go to the Magic. Before I go to the Magic news, let me make sure. Actually, they are winning. They're up 30-26 after the first quarter. So they're in the lead as we speak. Going into the second quarter, they are leading by 4 points. I'm going to go ahead and leave that up and kind of update you guys throughout tonight's show. On the flip side, the Orlando Magic are also in a live game. They are currently up 25-24 to the Charlotte Hornets currently. So they are currently also in a game. Let me see what their schedule was like. I know they lost to the Heat twice, but let's see what else they did last week and overall here. Let's see what they think. Again, guys, as we get closer to the NBA trade deadline, that's going to be the interesting part to see where both Orlando and Miami both go. Miami's in a better spot to make the postseason than Orlando is currently. So look for Miami to kind of get a little bit better, to kind of boost their chances to get further in the playoffs than they do. Let's see here. Let's go. Let's look at the standings real quick, guys, on NBA.com. See what the standings are as we speak, where Miami and Orlando currently stand. Miami is currently the 4th seed, and Orlando is currently the 8th seed in the NBA standings as we speak. So if the playoffs started today, Orlando would be traveling to Milwaukee to play the Bucks, and the Miami Heat would be in the 4-5 matchup with the Indiana Pacers if the playoffs begin today. So again, both teams are currently in playoff, both in playoff spots. But the Magic are 3-7 in their last 10. So that is going to need to improve if they're going to get into the playoffs. They're on a 5-game losing streak. And they, as going into the half, they are up by 2 points over Charlotte, 56-54, as they go into the half. So that is that for the Magic. So let me go ahead and keep the Magic and the Heat. Let's go to the NBA scoreboard so we can kind of keep an update on the NBA. One of the guys that took Kobe's death very hard was Dwayne Wade, the former Miami Heat player. They were very, very close. So he took that very, very hard. Again, a lot of tributes for Kobe. If you guys didn't get a chance to catch the tribute the Lakers did, that was awesome that they did on Saturday night. In fact, yours truly missed the entire first period of the Lightning game, which I'll talk about later on, but I missed the entire first period because I wanted to watch the Kobe tribute. So, but that was pretty damn cool what they did for Kobe in LA. Very good words from LeBron James. So that was pretty good. Let me go ahead, guys, and move now to baseball. And let's start in Miami, as I always do, down on South Beach. Their Fan Fest, guys, is this upcoming Saturday, the 8th, from 3 to 7, free admission to all. So they have a Fan Fest going on this upcoming Saturday, as spring training will be starting, actually, as we speak. The pitchers and catchers will report So we are going to be talking a lot about baseball moving forward. Um, the Marlins did finalize one-year deals for former Tampa Bay Ray and Florida resident Matt Joyce. He will be joining the Marlins, as well as pitcher. Let me see here. What else they got here? Pitcher Brandon Kinsler, of the formerly with the Chicago Cubs. This is to create for these two. They had to move relievers Jose Cuita and Yarlin Garcia. They assigned them, so now these two have taken over the roster space to create the 40-man roster space. So it looks like full workouts for pitchers and catchers will start on February 12th. So again, we're just 9 days away from the Marlins reporting to Jupiter to start their spring training, to start their 2020 season. So right now, Kinsler immediately becomes the front runner to be the Marlins closer. His deal is worth $3.25 million, and their club option for 2021 for $4 million with a $250,000 buyout. Matt Joyce is a left-handed hitter who has a big league contract, which means he's already is on the 40-man roster, and he is a strong candidate to make the opening day roster for the Miami Marlins. So things are looking up pretty well, guys, for the Miami Marlins. I have a baseball guy that has a show. I was contacted by Mr. Mark Mancini on Friday. There's a guy starting in the next couple of weeks that has an all baseball show in Tallahassee, which is in my home state. I'm going to be in touch with him because I want to get his insight as we get closer to baseball season. So I'm going to bring him on here, and I also want you to join his show as well and give him some love as we move forward. But I'm going to go ahead and hit him up as much as I can for baseball talk as we get closer to the start with the Marlins and the Rays. Again, guys, if you did not hear locally in Tampa, the argument between the stadium and the split season is still active. The mayor here told the Rays that he wants to build on the site and earn money for the city. The Rays said it's fine as long as we get 50%, but they still want to split the season between Tampa Bay or St. Pete and Montreal. So as far as that goes, guys, it's turning very bad. And they've been talking here on local radio that maybe it's time for Stu Sternberg to sell the team. The only problem with that, guys, is the team, according to Forbes, is worth $1.1 billion, and that's billion with a B. So you'd have to have someone that's going to come along and spend $1 billion or at least $1.5 billion to get this franchise away from Stu Sternberg. There's only two people in this area, in the Tampa Bay area, that would have that kind of dough. That is, of course, the gentleman that owns Ashley Furniture. I'm sure if you live in Florida or if you live around the country, you know what Ashley Furniture is. He's worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 billion. So think about that. He has to spend half of his net worth to buy a franchise. So I don't know about that. That's interesting to wager half of your net worth for a baseball team. The other one is the former 49ers owner who's moved down here. He's worth close to $2 billion himself, but he's, in his 70s, guys, and it's kind of hard. You don't really want to take over a franchise when it may not work out too well for you. So, guys, as far as the new stadium and the whole Montreal, St. Pete, that is still in talks. It has not silenced it, and it's pretty sad, guys. I mean, think about this. This baseball franchise could be gone in a matter of 7 years from now. We could be talking about the Rays exiting Tampa Bay, and that would be bad. I mean, that really is bad that we will be talking about the Rays possibly moving or having a split season between Montreal and St. Pete in 7 years. That would be very, very bad. especially being that this team has had two 90-win seasons in a row, 90-plus win seasons in a row. Again, the Rays Fan Fest is also this upcoming Saturday. So it will also be this Saturday, and then we have 52 days till opening day. The Rays will be hosting the Pittsburgh Pirates, but unfortunately, we will not see um, the Rays. Rays former pitcher Chris Archer will not pitch until Game 2. But again, guys, you want to make sure to get out there and support them. Being that this team has won again 90-plus games. In fact, they won 99 games last year and took the cheating AL champion Houston Astros to almost elimination game in the division round. So think about that, guys. Just think about that moving forward. Again, they'll be returning most of their staff. They made some trades, but most of them are coming back. So this team will be nice. They picked up some pieces and Hunter Renfroe from San Diego. So this is could be another team that makes a run at the against the Red Sox and the Yankees in the AL East, because the Red Sox are in turmoil with finding a manager and the cheating scandal going on there. And of course, the Yankees, they have all the money in the world, so they can do what they want to do. So it's hard for the Rays to compete, but somehow they find a way to compete with the Yankees and the Red Sox. So look for the Rays to be near the top again in the AL East this year. I mean, we'll have to wait and see how that goes, but I'm telling you right now, look for them to be ready to go. They will also be reporting to spring training, as they will be going to Port Charlotte, which is south of where I'm at here in St. Pete. They are south in Port Charlotte. So they'll be down there as well. And so Jupiter is also down south. So the Marlins and the Rays do play some spring training games against each other. So we'll have to wait and see if the spring training schedule comes out. Opening day, guys, is on March 26th against the Pirates. So be there. And then, of course, it looks like the next series will be against the AL East champion New York Yankees. They'll be from March 30th to April 1st. So another good series. And then we have the Astros coming in, guys, on April 13th through the 15th. So that'll be pretty cool to see the Houston Astros. But that is pretty darn cool right now, guys, that we are on the verge of spring training beginning in baseball. And we will go ahead and start the process of the 162-game season. I, again, guys, will cover everything I can and try to keep you updated on that. Let me flash back real quick back to the NBA, guys. The Orlando Magic lead the Charlotte Hornets 58-54 with 11 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third quarter. And the Miami Heat and 76ers are tied at 35 in the second quarter with 6:58 left. So those are currently active games. Well, again, guys, with the Super Bowl being in Miami yesterday, now the Super Bowl shifts to my backyard, as Super Bowl 55 will be in Tampa, Florida next year at the beautiful Raymond James Stadium. I've had great opportunity of covering USF football. I also got the luxury of covering the Outback Bowl this year. I'm hoping, guys, I'm still in the running to get credentials for the Tampa Bay Vipers, which, guys, if you know, that season begins this upcoming Saturday. So football is not quite over yet. The NFL season came to an end yesterday. We'll have 30 weeks without it, but the XFL begins this upcoming Saturday. The Vipers will be on the road. I'm going to go ahead and dive into the XFL real quick since I'm on that topic. Their home opener, guys, is for a few weeks on the 22nd, but they do have a game this upcoming Saturday. The season begins this Saturday, the 8th. They're playing the New York Guardians. It will be on Fox. It'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff. I'm sorry, that's a Sunday game. My apologies, guys. They play on Sunday the 9th, so I'll be able to watch the game. I'm going to go ahead and turn to Fox and take a look at them. But it looks pretty interesting. The games that'll be on will be the Vipers versus the Guardians. That's going to be that. And then week 2, guys, they're on the road again to play the Sea Dragons. And then they're home against the Houston Roughnecks. In week 4, they play the DC Defenders. Then they're on the road against the LA Wildcats in week 5. Week 6, they're home against the St. Louis Battlehawks. And then in week 7, they're home against the Dallas Renegades. In week 8, they're on the road in DC. Week 9, they're on the road in St. Louis. Week 10, they're home against the Guardians, and that's on Easter Sunday. The playoffs will be on Saturday, April 18th, and Sunday, April 19th. So that is how that will go. But I'll keep you guys informed with scores and highlights and stuff from the XFL as we begin a new wave of football. That will start again for the Vipers this upcoming Sunday. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff on Fox. Yours truly will be watching the game, so I'm looking forward to that. So like I said, guys, the Super Bowl is in Tampa, Florida next year. And in a couple months from now, WrestleMania will be here. So there's a couple of big events coming for the Tampa Bay area. Also, guys, it's a real side note, some amateur sports news. If you guys are roller derby fans like I am, head on over now, deadlyrivalrollerderby.com. They have an event this upcoming Saturday at the Sleigh Ground. It's only $17, guys, to get in the gate, man. Get a ticket online, $17.50. If you go watch them play derby, it's pretty cool, man. It's not like the derby in the 60s where they trip and fall and, you know, hit each other with chairs. This is real athletic skating, guys, and it's no joke. These ladies kick ass. So be look out for them if you want to head out there. You can do that. But to jump back to the NFL, guys, let's start with the Miami Dolphins. Now, if you have not known, Miami quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick has announced that he wants to play in 2020. Signs are looking like he will probably re-sign with the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins have the 5th overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. Most of the mock drafts that I've seen have them taking Tua Tagovailoa out of Alabama. So basically, what it'll be is it'll be Fitz as a he'll be in, and then of course he'll get Tua time to develop. So that'll be how that goes, guys. It'll be him developing. The Dolphins have a slew of picks in the upcoming draft as we get closer in April when the draft kicks off in Las Vegas. We'll have to wait and see. But again, it was a very, very nice Super Bowl in Miami. Miami did a hell of a job getting it set up. The game was, a great football game, I think, as a sports analyst like I am. I think those are the type of games that you want to see. The games that are back and forth close like that. So that's what I liked about it. I know there are a lot of people that are making a big hype about the halftime show. Well, you cannot censor everything, guys. So to me, if you had children, you didn't want them to see that, then either you turn it off or you leave the room or something like that. I'm not trying to be, mean or anything to the young football fans out there, but if you found that offensive, well, then that's what it is. They're not going to censor everything. You can't censor everything. So that's my opinion on that. If you don't agree with me, that's completely understandable, and we can discuss that on my Walker Report this upcoming Thursday. If you want to chime in, you can definitely go ahead and do that. So that is that, guys, with that. But again, the Miami Dolphins have a lot of draft picks coming into the draft, so we'll have to wait and see what they do. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, 9 times out of 10 guys, will be back in a Miami Dolphin uniform. And Brian Flores has the team moving in a pretty good direction after their season last year, where they finished the season 5-11. But guys, they won a bunch of games, including beating the New England Patriots on the road in Foxborough in Week 17. So this team is moving in the right direction. I think Brian Flores got rid of what the so-called bad apples that don't want to be there. He wants to have the guys that are going to make that team good again. So again, guys, we'll have to wait and see how the Dolphins do in the draft in April, in a couple months from now. We'll have to wait and see. Let's move a little bit up the coast to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Calais Campbell won the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award. Congratulations to Mr. Campbell on that. There was disappointing that Tony Vaselli got passed over again for the NFL Hall of Fame. And if you guys do not know, there's a bunch of probably first ballot Hall of Famers. And again, the NFL only picks 5 guys. So next year in Tampa, we will have find out again who is in there. But that is interesting. Of course, we'll have Gardner Minshew, the quarterback. He'll be back next year. Nick Foles will be back as well. Again, the Jaguars, too, will have to wait as we get a little bit closer to the draft on how they draft. They're going to need some help, and I think that they'll be able to do that. We'll have to wait and see, guys, who they decide to draft moving forward. They're going to have a little bit of a better season than they did last year to move forward, to get the guys, to get the fans back in Jacksonville to cheer on the Jaguars. Because remember, just a few years ago, guys, they were in the AFC Championship game against the Patriots. So this team definitely has the potential to be in the game and play very, very well. So, look for the Jaguars again, just like the Dolphins, to kind of get some pieces in free agency, get some pieces in the draft to help improve their record from a year ago. Real quick, let me go ahead, guys, and jump back to my NBA scoreboard. Currently, the Magic lead 68-61 in the third quarter with 7:03 left in that quarter. And the Miami Heat are up 45-42 in the second quarter with 4 minutes and 4 seconds left. The final NFL team, guys, would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And again, the biggest questions still remain are, what are they going to do with Shaq Barrett and Jameis Winston? Now, there is a article on SB Nation, Bucs Nation, where the Bucs are exploring QB options outside of Winston. The Bucs are doing their homework in case Winston does not return in 2020. So again, guys, they are looking for other options out there. There are, of course, Ryan Tannehill is not leaving Tennessee. So here is what the scouting report right now is. They are looking at Tom Brady, which I don't think that'll happen. Drew Brees, I don't think that'll happen either. But Phillip Rivers is a very, very possible replacement. It won't be a long-term replacement because remember, Phillip Rivers is 38, guys. He's not a long-term replacement for the Bucs. We'll have to see what Bruce Arians and company decide to do. Again, Winston threw 31 touchdowns and 30 interceptions last year. He's been with the Bucs for 5 years, and nothing really has gotten better. He's still making a lot of mistakes. So it's going to be interesting to see which way the Bucs go with that. They may not even get rid of Winston. They may tag him and sign Shaq Barrett and try to put pieces around him. We'll have to wait and see. Other news with the Buccaneers is once again safety John Lynch, as well as Tony Vaselli, did not get the nod to the Hall of Fame. And if you guys do not know, the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs will be playing at Raymond James Stadium this year against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That should be a hot ticket. Against the Chiefs now that they've won the Super Bowl last night. That should be a hot ticket. We'll have to wait and see how that goes, but that will definitely be interesting to see what happens with with that, I'm going to try to go to that game. Try to go to that game and the Packers game this year, guys. To go live. Maybe John Lynch will get in next year, being that it's in Tampa. Maybe they'll vote in a local guy. Hopefully Lynch gets in because they only voted in 5, and he was not eligible this time around. So we'll have to just kind of wait and see how that goes. So let's see here. Let's check out college basketball, guys, real quick with the USF, UCF, Florida State, and Miami. Let's check and see here what's going on in the basketball as we push closer to March Madness. That's definitely moving forward. How they will get Florida State, guys. Last I checked, was the number 5 team in the country. The Noles were rolling pretty good. So let's see what they do, and we'll check out Miami as well. The Miami Hurricanes. Let's see here. Basketball. There we go. Here's Miami, guys. They lost yesterday to Pittsburgh, 62-57. Back on the 28th, they won over Virginia Tech, 71-61 at home. They have a game coming up the day after tomorrow on the 5th against NC State, and then they're this weekend on the 8th. They play the number 8 Florida State Seminoles at noon. So Miami, currently, guys, in the ACC, they're 14th in the ACC. So they are actually dead last in the conference. They're 3-8 in the conference, 11-10 overall, 6-3 at home, 3-5 on the road. So they are, like I said, are currently dead last in the conference. So that's not good for Miami. See if they have anything left with the remaining schedule this month before they head to March Madness or head to the NIT. Maybe they get an NIT spot, stuff like that. We'll have to wait and see them coming off that. The Florida State Seminoles are currently in a live game. They're at home playing North Carolina, and they are currently up 45-40. They are second in the ACC, with they're second behind Louisville. So that's interesting enough. They are the number 8th ranked team in the country, and they are coming. They are again leading 45-40. They're on a 1-game winning streak. They are 8-2 in the conference, 18-3 overall. They're 10-0 at home. So if they win tonight, they'll move their record to 11-0. They're 5-3 on the road. So the 3 losses have come on the road, not at home. So they have defended Tallahassee very, very well. So that's pretty good. So they're currently second behind Louisville in the ACC and number 8 in the country. And again, they currently lead North Carolina in the game 45-40 in the second quarter. In the second half, So they're leading as we speak. If they win in 8 minutes, then they will have moved to 11-0 at home. The Florida Gators are the next team I will cover. Let's see what we got here for the Gators are coming off of a 61-55 win over Vanderbilt on Saturday. They have a game on Wednesday, the 5th at 7 o'clock against Georgia. So that is interesting enough. They are currently 4th in the SEC. They are behind Mississippi State, Auburn, Kentucky, and LSU. So they are 4th in there. They are 5-3 in the conference, 13-8 overall, 7-3 at home, 2-4 on the road. They're on a 1-game winning streak, coming off the win on Saturday. So sitting pretty good right now. They're pretty good right now. They are, again, they just came off a 61-55 win over Vanderbilt just a couple of days ago, and now they have Georgia on Wednesday at home at the O'Connell Center. So we'll have to wait and see if they win that game. I'll talk about that game next week. The UCF Knights are coming off of a loss to the USF Bulls on Saturday, 64-48 at the Yuengling Center in Tampa. Their next game, guys, is on Thursday. They will go to East Carolina to play the East Carolina Pirates. They are currently 11th in the AAC. The Knights are. Their conference record is 2-7. They're 11-10 overall, 7-4 at home, 2-5 on the road. They're on a 3-game losing streak currently right now. And again, guys, that's UCF. The last game, of course, coming just 2 days ago at the Yuengling Center, where they got blown out by 16 points as the South Florida Bulls beat them 64-48. So with that, as I move to USF, the Bulls, again, like I just said, came off a 64-48 win over the UCF the Knights. They will play on the 8th against the Memphis Tigers. Let's see, guys, where the Bulls rank overall. Excuse me. Where the Bulls rank overall. They are 7th in the AAC. I was there for the Memphis game, guys. Their conference record is 3-6. They're 10-12 overall, 8-4 at home, and 1-4 on the road. They're on a 2-game winning streak. Pretty good for the USF basketball team, their men's basketball team. So that's pretty good, guys. So that covers college basketball. As we get closer, guys, to the spring games, I'll go ahead and start bringing football back up. And when this show turns to the great days of the summer, we'll be talking about college football for all 5 teams and, all kinds of cool stuff going into that and how that goes. Real quick, guys, let's jump back to the NBA. Currently, the Magic lead the Hornets 85-77 at the end of the third quarter, and the Miami Heat lead the 76ers 56-52 at the half. So the Magic are heading into their 4th and final quarter, and the Heat are in halftime against the 76ers. So let's look, guys, at the Florida Panthers. We'll go ahead and jump to hockey real quick. They are currently trailing 2-1 in Toronto against the Maple Leafs. Let's look here really quick at the standings real quick and where the Florida Panthers everybody ranks. Let's see here in the division as we just came out of the All-Star break. Let's see here real quick. Okay, so currently the Panthers are 4th in the Atlantic Division. They played 50 games. They're 28-17-5. They have 61 points. They're currently 13 points behind the Boston Bruins, who lead the division. They have a plus 16 goal differential. They're 16-8-2 at home, 12-9-3 on the road, 3-3 in the shootout. They're on a 7-3-0 in their last 10. So they've lost 1 game in a row. but they stand pretty good. Let's see where they stand, guys, in the wild card. In the wild card with the playoff picture coming in here. Let's see where they stand. They are currently 3 points out. They're actually just 2 points out of the second wild card spot, 3 points out of the top wild card spot, which is being held currently by the New York Islanders, and the Carolina Hurricanes hold both wild card spots. So currently the Florida Panthers are outside looking in, but they're only behind. They're only 2 points behind to get into the playoffs. So the win tonight would hold them into a playoff spot, as the Toronto Maple Leafs have 63 points. So they're currently in there as well. So that is that, guys, with that. And the Tampa Bay Lightning are coming off of a huge West Coast stand. They play tomorrow night against the Las Vegas Golden Knights, and yours truly will be in attendance. This will complete all the NHL teams. I will currently have seen every current NHL team that the Lightning have played. That'll be completed tomorrow night as I will be at Amway Arena with my boss and my two good buddies to see them play the Golden Knights. I'm really looking forward to that. The Lightning have played 52 games. They're 32, 15, and 5. They have 69 points and sit just 5 points out of the top spot in the Atlantic Division, held by, of course, the Boston Bruins. They lead the league in goal differential with a plus 43. They're 15, 7, and 2 at home, 17, 8, and 3 on the road. They're 2 and 0 in the shootout, and they're 7, 2, and 1 in their last 10. They're on a 3-game winning streak. So hopefully that goes to 4 tomorrow night against the Knights. It should be a very, very interesting hockey game between them tomorrow night. The Knights will not be playing a back-to-back. They're off this evening, probably flying down as we speak. So they're not playing a double header or anything like that. But currently, like I said, guys, it's 2-1 Toronto over the Florida Panthers at the end of the second period. So we'll keep our eyes open on that to see before the end of the show what's going on. But guys, it looks like I have a half hour left of what to talk about. The Magic currently lead the Charlotte Hornets 91-77 in the fourth quarter with about 10 minutes left to go on the clock. See if the Magic can hold back. They're up by 14 points. Is there any? I mean, we could sit here, guys, and talk about USF. Anybody out there that would want to chime in on some topics about baseball with the Rays, baseball with the Marlins, and anything like that will be fine. Again, guys, I was going to try to run my show till 9:15. I don't know if I'm going to get it that far. I only go to 9 o'clock. So I'm going to jump off here in a few minutes and call it a show. But I'm going to go ahead and talk all the way through. Again, guys, the Super Bowl was a great game in Miami. We'll be here in Tampa next year. There's some big events coming to my neck of the woods next year, with WrestleMania happening in a couple months in April, and then the Super Bowl being here next February at Raymond James Stadium. I'm hoping to cover the Vipers. We have XFL football starting this Sunday for that. Looking back at the season for the USF Bulls, not the season I think that everyone predicted it to be. It was very, very not good. Let's just say that. It was not good at all. It led to the firing of head coach Charlie Strong and the hiring of Jeff Scott. So we'll have to wait and see. The spring game is a couple months in April as well. I will be there to see Coach Scott in his first game as USF. Florida State, guys, they have a new head coach. There'll be a new season starting up there for them as well. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with them, see if they can get back to their glory days. Miami kind of had an up and down season this year. We'll have to wait. Manny Diaz and company. We'll have to see if they can do a better job. Next year with the Hurricanes. UCF had 3 losses. I don't think that's going to happen again this year. I really honestly could say that I think they will end up being right back at the top of the AAC when it's all said and done. So that is that. USF, UCF, Florida, Miami. Yeah, I think Florida, the Florida Gators, another, big season under Dan Mullen. This team continues to look improved. We're all going to have to sit back and wait because a lot of people have them predicted to be a playoff team this upcoming season. So that should be interesting to say the least. But then again, guys, with you got hockey and basketball going on right now with 8 minutes and 9 seconds of the fourth quarter, the Magic lead by 13. Actually, yes, 99-86 left. Miami and Philadelphia are still at the half, and it's still 2-1 Toronto over Florida after the second period there as well. But that, guys, I'm going to try to I still have not had anyone call into my show yet here, so I'm trying to get some people to come on. I've been trying to get a Gator guy to come on, Lightning, somebody from FIU to come on here, talk about the Buccaneers. I'm hoping to get Jay, who is the head of Bucks Life, who I write for every once in a while, to come on next week, talk about the Bucks and Jameis Winston. My man Frank Scuduto, who's the FIU guy. Hopefully he can come on soon. My good friend Michael, who's a big Gator guy, maybe Phil Taylor, anybody out there that wants to come on and talk about the Knowles, the Gators, whoever. I'm going to, in a couple weeks, we have a guy, like I said, a baseball show starting from Tallahassee. So I'm hoping to have him on my show. Mark is going to go ahead and give me his information. I'll have him on my show. Hopefully I can be on his show, maybe talk some Seminoles with him, stuff like that, being that he's based in Tallahassee. But like I said, guys, tomorrow night, going to be very special to me, being that I, at one time, was a season ticket holder to the Lightning, and in the 9 years I was a season ticket holder, was a lot of losing seasons. Towards the end is when they got good what they are now. I have never seen them play the Knights, whether it's been in Las Vegas or it's been here. Tomorrow night, that will come to a farewell conclusion because I will be at the hockey game tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that. Should be a good game between Las Vegas and the Tampa Bay Lightning, because I'm going to go ahead real quick, guys, while I'm on here, and I'm going to look up where the Knights stand in the standings. Let's see here, guys, where they stand in the Western Conference. But the Lightning came off with 3 wins over the Kings, the Ducks, and the Sharks over the weekend during the the West Coast trip. So they are with that. The Knights are currently 3rd in the Pacific Division. They've played 54 games, or 27, 20, and 7. They're only a +6 in goal differential, guys. So they're on a 2-game winning streak, and they're 13, 10, and 4 on the road. But their last 10 games, they're 4, 5, and 1. Maybe we can change that and make that 4. Maybe we can keep that where it's at 4, 5, and 1 tomorrow night. Still 99-86, guys. There's a 13-point lead for the Magic over the Hornets in the fourth quarter. Miami and Philadelphia are still at the half, And I believe, let me check back and see if the game with the Florida and Toronto are still at the break in after the second period. Yeah, guys. So Miami is currently still in the half. Orlando is still up by 13 points with 6:50 left in the fourth quarter. So that we'll do that, guys. See if there's anything else that nothing. Again, guys, a lot of tributes for Kobe Bryant with the 24-second violation, the 8-second violation. Big tribute to Kobe in Los Angeles on Saturday. LeBron James had very, very, very strong words to say about Kobe, which was pretty awesome, to say the least. That was pretty cool that he had what he said. Unfortunately, Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers beat the Lakers on Saturday during the tribute game for Kobe. I would have to say, keep watching the NBA, guys. I'm sure they're going to be celebrating him, all season long. I definitely don't see that going away anytime soon again. If you guys missed the show last week, yours truly did break down and cry about Kobe. I mean, I think it was kind of a shock to all of us that he passed away in a horrific helicopter crash. Again, thoughts and prayers to all the families that were involved, the 9 people that were killed in the helicopter accident last Sunday. So, yeah, man, very, very sad. The bright part, there was a very, very good football game yesterday. And, again, if you didn't hear me earlier, each team during the pregame stood at the 24-yard line in honor of Kobe and Chris Dolman. It was pretty cool how the NFL did that. The Magic guys with 5:18 left in the fourth quarter lead 102-88. It looks like they pretty much will have that game pretty much wrapped up. They're up by 13 points with 5 minutes left. And it's now the start of the third quarter, and the Heat are still up by 4 there in Miami. Let's see, guys, if the third period has started for Toronto and Florida. Excuse me. No, they're still in the break, guys. So they're still in the break, and they're still during the intermission from that. So let's see. The Magic are currently up 102-90 with 4:27 left in the game. So that is that, guys. Let's see here. Again, guys, if you did not hear, head over to deadlyrivalrollerderby.com. Click on there and get some tickets for their match this Saturday night. Starting skate starts at 7 p.m. Head on over to deadlyrivalrollerderby.com to get tickets via the website or through Eventbrite. Again, guys, they're just $17.50 for adults. That includes drinks. They have drinks there. They have a food truck there, and they have awesome entertainment with the ladies skating. So that's pretty cool as well. But that's about it, guys. Again, this has been another great show. I'm still, again, looking, try to get somebody to call in and talk to me live on the air. I haven't had that happen yet through the show. Hopefully it'll happen. But it seems like to me that Breck and Mark have given me the opportunity to be the Florida guy that covers the state of Florida. That's pretty cool. I do appreciate that. I had a good conversation with Mark on Friday. But with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and, again, guys, this was the Sunshine State Sports Jabber with your host, the sports nerd, Brad Walker. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back here next Monday to fill you in on all Florida sports. as well. I want to say thank you to our men and women of our armed services. Thank you for doing what you've done, both retired and active. I could not be here doing this if it was not for you and your sacrifices. I want to give a shout out to our domestic soldiers, our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics. Thank you for keeping us safe domestically. I just want to say God bless to all you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support on Facebook Live this evening. And again, this is the Sports Sir Brad Walker signing off. Thank you again for joining me on the Sunshine State Sports Jabber. Until next Monday, guys. See you. Come join me on Thursday night on the Walk Report at 8 p.m. Until then, guys, have a good night. Peace.